You're watching the After Business Morning, and this is the Eastern Business Report designed to bring you up to speed on business activities and issues affecting businesses and the economy of the southeast region of Nigeria. It comes right after Global Business right here on the After Business Morning. And on today's edition of the Eastern Business Report, we will be looking at the federal government's request of the shelving of the proposed so to speak, protest of Nigerian youths. It's reported that President Bola Tinubu has urged Nigerians to shelve, especially youth, to planned and bad governance protests, which is scheduled for the 1st of next month. Mohammed Idris, the Information Minister, addressing selected State House correspondents after a meeting with the President Tuesday, conveyed Tinubu's message to the protest organizers, requesting them to hold off and wait for the government's response to their concerns. You may also be interested to know that it was reported today on mainstream media that the government, the minister specifically, would have meetings with other ministers today with reference to this particular issue. And this will form the basis of a conversation, because we're going to be looking at different angles to this same reportage, different angles to this same issue, and asking ourselves critical questions like, what will be the effect of this on the economy of Nigeria and by extension the economy of the southeast? Now, you may be interested to know that Ohanes Ndigbo has distanced itself from all of this. We'll put all of this together when we return for the break. My name, by the way, is Ubong Kings. Welcome. You're welcome back, and you're still watching the Eastern Business Report right here on the After Business Morning. And joining me on this conversation this morning is Emmanuel Chime, who is a public affairs analyst. It's good to have you join us. Good morning.
Thank you very much, Kings. I'm sorry, I did have some traffic challenges.
It's okay. That's fine. The good part is you're here now. And let's look at something real quickly. There is this track up we're going to be playing for you with the Minister of Information saying a number of things with reference to this proposed protest of Nigerian youth. Let's take a look at that, then when we come back, we would continue this conversation. Please stay.
For example, you saw that the federal government approved grains for and rice for state governments. It was delivered to them expeditiously. Also, the federal government is not that. Like I said that the other time, that it is not a necessary first step. Government is going to continue in that direction, supporting them and ensuring that whatever intervention that the federal government has put in place go to those that should benefit. It is very important that is being put out. Federal government is looking at strategies to ensure that every intervention goes directly to those who benefit from those interventions, not middlemen intervening also along the way. That's one. Two, you heard about the Students' Loans Board that was also launched by the President. The President is very passionate about that, deepening that everyone that should go to school will have the opportunity to go to school. It's no longer a time for all of us to stay back and see our young, able-bodied men and women that have passed examination to go to tertiary institutions that have not been able to do that because their parents are unable to pay for their fees. This is a thing of the past. The government is very, very desirous of ensuring that happens. You know that the provision that was made to the NEL fund, the Students' Loan Fund, already we have in excess of what is required as at today. And the more that people are requiring that, the more the president will also give. There is also the intervention that the president is working at for those young men and women who have finished school, who are yet to get employed, post-NYSC, for example. That is a scheme that government is perfecting now. That is also going to be pushed very fast, so that all those young men and women out there who have finished school, who are graduates of the universities and polytechnics that are unable to get jobs, they will continue to be supported by government until such a time that those jobs are offered to them. The whole idea is that no one is left behind. Everybody is an all-inclusive government, and the president is determined that no one should be left behind in this attempt to match Nigeria.
There you have it. You just listened to and watched, so to speak, the Minister for Information and telling us a whole lot of things. And one of the key things he did mention was This was all in relation to the fact that there is a proposed, so to speak, protest by young persons in the country. And he did make mention of something which I'm going to reiterate in this conversation, that grains had been sent to different states. But as of yesterday, I'm interested to know that a certain reportage clearly stated that 1 week after, 21 states are yet to get these things. And these are one of the things that the people want to protest about. Now, thank God I have you here, Emmanuel, Chime. Now, what are your thoughts, first of all, starting with what the minister said?
I think from what they are saying, it actually entails that these guys from the State House, Abuja, they have totally a disconnect from the plight of the people. They're not actually feeling the sense of what is happening at all. Because the other way around, they are seeing it from the angle of that Nigerians are hungry. Who brought hunger to Nigeria? These are questions we should be asking. Is it natural? It is not. It is human created. You should know that. Now, they are looking at it from the side of hunger eradication, which they are not yet even working frantically to eradicate hunger in Nigeria. But they are claiming, they are purporting that they are doing, and they are not doing anything. We are seeing that very clear. Then, I want to remind them what happened. That was in 2020, when the youths rolled out and said, end SARS. They should remember it wasn't about SARS all alone. It came with the bombardment of a lot of reasons why the youths came out. Stop bad government, give us light, give us job, give us good health, this, that. So if they are looking at it as per, we are sending grains to go and feed the people, are we fowls? Are we chickens? Are you giving it to us in the name of that we cannot generate this by ourselves? Go and fix the security situation, and people will go back to their farms and feed themselves. If you give me about how many trucks of rice do they send? Now, if you give people rice to eat, where do they buy the meat where do they get money to buy the meat that they will use to cook the rice? Or the oil. Or you talk about other ingredients. Where do they get them? So, for goodness sake, we're not animals. We're talking about you remove subsidy and you heightened hunger, you heightened hardship in the society. We want to see where you reinvested it. We want to see where the money is being stashed in our coffers. The money is not there. We are yet borrowing, and we are not seeing where the money is being reinvested. So who have stolen the money? For goodness sake, a lot is going on within the government, and we are receiving stories. Now he's talking about the student loan, that is no longer going to be a news of that you finish secondary school, you cannot afford going for tertiary institution. Now, let me tell you, do you know that this particular program is going to subject most of our youths to depression after graduating using this student loan program? Are we aware of that? By the time you would graduate, having borrowed from the government, and you now discover that you finish, even 5 years later, you don't have a job. 10 years later, you have even forgotten the name of the course you studied in school. Then how do you now intend to pay back? When the government will now demand that you should pay back, how do you intend to pay back? Then is it going to be a good program? How are we going to recoup the money? Should we, after dishing out this money to students, how are we going to call back the money from the students? If there are no jobs for them to do, in order to be able to pay back, so that we will now be able to keep recycling it, giving to others. Is this sustainable? These are questions we should be asking. Security situation in the country is nothing to write about. Now go and check. The Constitution said that the primary objective of the government is security of the citizenry and of course the properties of the citizens. Now, should they kidnap you? Should they kidnap your loved ones? Police is not interested. Army is not interested. Nobody cares. It is only between you and the kidnappers. If you did not pay, if they kill your loved ones, you take it. You cannot complain to government. Government cannot do anything. So for goodness sake, why should we continue to live in this? And they are telling us about sending rice and more. Are they sending rice? Are we like pigs? Are we like animals? For you to say we are in ranches that you are feeding us right there. For goodness sake, they shouldn't be taking us like that. Mind you, Mr. Obon, we're not yet demanding for technological waves, new technologies or inventions. That's not what we are demanding from this government. And of course, the government we are supposed to take us from where we are to a different phase altogether. Take us forward. But what we are seeing is that the government came and took us backward. And we're now begging that they should bring us to where we used to be. That's what we are demanding for. Bring us back to where we used to be. At least prior to now, we were able to feed ourselves a bit. Prior to now. But today, we cannot feed. We are now begging that we should be able to feed. So if they should now finally fix it, that we will start feeding ourselves, shall we see it as an achievement? You created the issue. We are now asking you to fix it. For goodness sake, look at what happened at that's US the other day. That was on 13th of this month. The attempt to kill Donald Trump. Now, are you aware that yesterday, the Director General of the Secret Service in America resigned?
Yes, I'm aware.
Yes. Chito, she resigned. She left the office because of failure to answer to the call of duties. She resigned. For goodness sake, go and see what happened at Kenya. Immediately you started protesting, then government fought back. At the time they discovered that these guys, they are resolved to stand firm. It's something that they cannot stand out to fight them. Then the next thing is that the IGP resigned. He left office. But in this context, we are seeing a people that don't care. A people that have the resolve to even kill just to make sure that. Anyway, as at yesterday, that Senator Shehu Sani from Kaduna State rightly addressed the president. The president hosted a summit in and he rightly addressed him. He seated there. He rightly addressed him and told him. The video is making around now. He's even with me. He rightly addressed him and said, "You are the father of protest." And we remember that in the past, you've called for protest, not just calling. You funded us to stand up for our rights. He then said, "Don't gag these guys. Give them a listening ear. Allow them. Don't trouble them." So for goodness sake, we are telling the president, don't do otherwise. Protest is being allowed by our Western laws. Don't do otherwise. Meanwhile, I don't know whom you are going to engage to begin to discuss about the protest, because the other way around, it is hunger that is protesting.
Now let's look at something quickly because we're running out of time already. Now, the Honors Ndibo has already distanced itself from this protest. Do you see this as expected, or do you see this as something that is not expected?
Okay, the other way around, you should know there are some insignificant factors that are speaking, saying we are not interested, we are interested, we are not interested. Remember what happened in 2020? There was nobody, there is no organized body, in quotes, that came to support that protest. But at the time, you now discover that the protest became organic. Everybody, you that said you are not part, you are not coming out to the street in the name of your organization, but you are coming out to the street in the name that you're a Nigerian. It's not about organization. It's not about Nance or Khan or whomsoever. It's about Nigerians who are dying of hunger. So it's not about Ohanese that are saying youths don't go. Meanwhile, Ohanese rightly have their own reasons, whereby it has been on record that whenever such a thing takes place, then a people or a government will always have a way of inciting some violence against the Igbos, against the businesses of the Igbos, even when it is not the Igbos that are actually gearing it up. But you always see it happen. So people have their reasons why they are saying don't. But the other way around, there are some political gladiators who are as well, promoting, hey, don't, it is not time, this, that. But till when? Till all our people are all dead. Till it is now a ghost town that we have in Nigeria. So who will now start speaking? Who will the president now be leading? For goodness sake, it is overdue. It is long overdue. It is time that the youths, that Nigerians should stand out and speak by the time they still have the voice that they can speak.
All right, I wish we had more time. We don't. I wish we really did. But this conversation will continue much later, especially on our socials. You may want to go to our YouTube channel, because this video will be uploaded there. You can drop a comment or two on it. You may want to go to www.youtube.com/@AfiaBusiness and drop off a comment or two. And while you're there, do well to hit the like button and subscribe for notifications on all business-related content coming to you from Afia TV. I want to thank you profusely, Emmanuel, Chime, for being part of this conversation.
Thank you, Kings.
Thank you so much for your time. And well, that'll be the size of the package right here on the Eastern Business Report. And coming up next will be How Market. My name is Ubong Kings. Good morning.